Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by BAMMA USA Bantamweight, Chris Beal. Chris, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Chris, you got a fight coming up March 28th at BAMMA USA, Bad Beat 12. Before we start talking about that fight, since this is going to be the first time we see you in action since The Ultimate Fighter, I wanted to start with that. You were a member of Team Rousey on Season 18 of The Ultimate Fighter. Overall, how was the experience?
Overall, the experience on the tough show was great. You know, that's one time you get to just go in the house and focus on nothing but fighting. No outside worries, no worrying about food, just getting your weight down and fighting. So it was a great experience. If I could do it again, I definitely would. It was just a little unfortunate that I got injured in the beginning, but you know, it is what it is. I think the loss is going to help me way more than a win ever would have. So it was definitely a learning experience, and I made some really good friends on the show, and Rhonda, she's the best. So I was just happy to be on her team and happy to evolve from there.
You mentioned the part about being in the house and, you know, not having to worry about outside stuff, no phones, no TV, no internet, nothing like that, just focusing on fighting. Some people say that that's the worst part about being on the show. What was the thing that you didn't like about being on the show?
What I didn't, everything was pretty cool. I mean, I miss my family. I miss my regular routine. I miss my coaches in my gym and my teammates. But I knew it was only for a short period of time, and they told me once it's all done, you're going to miss this. And they're right. You know, after like a month of being home, I was like, dang, I kind of missed the house. So maybe the camera's always in your face, but other than that, everything seemed to go pretty well.
Now, you mentioned that you got injured very early in the show, and you were picked to be the first fight for the men on that season, because the women went first and then the men went second, but you were the first guy who fought on the men's side of things. Now, Rhonda was pretty PO'd at Misha for picking you to go against Chris Holdsworth as the first fight because, you know, they had known, I guess, that you had this injury and weren't 100%. How did you take it? Did you take it, you know, as really personally as a slap in the face, or were you kind of like, well, you know, this is a part of the process. They're trying to win. They're trying to get an advantage, and it's just part of the game that we signed up for. You know, how did you take it?
Yeah, it's all part of the game. You know, I thought it was probably like a pretty smart decision. It was kind of flattering to me because they don't want to see me at my best, or at least with two good hands. And Holdsworth did what he had to do, so take my hats off to him. I'm not making excuses for the loss, because even with two hands, you know what would have happened. I think it would have went a little bit different, but you never know. He ended up winning the whole show. So being picked first, I was prepared to be picked first. There's a lot of back stuff that happened that they didn't get to show on the air, but you know, I'm only getting better. I could have complained about it and cried about it and could have went home early because I had a hurt hand, but, you know, that was the only opportunity I was going to have. So we go hard. We went 100%. We gave it our all, and we came up a little short. But, you know, I'm happy that I did it, so I don't have to second-guess myself.
How long did you suffer from that hand injury? Like, let's say you were picked fourth or fifth rather than the first fight to go. Like, would that have made a difference? Like how long do you have that injury?
I don't think it would have made a difference. Maybe I could have had more time to practice for one hand, but pretty much the whole time I was there, it was pretty mangled. When I got home and I got an MRI, I found out it was broken. So it's just starting to really heal up now. And by the time I got home, they were like, "Well, we probably should have rebroke it and sat it in place." But since you didn't do that, it's already starting to heal, so you just have to deal with it till it breaks skin. And I was like, all right, that's cool with me. But it's what we do. It's what I signed up for. This is the life of a fighter. You know, things like this happen, and we just got to fight through it. And usually I'm pretty good at fighting through it, but you know, that time it just came up a little short.
Now, you tasted defeat, but you didn't really taste defeat because you're still an undefeated fighter, because that fight was an exhibition bout. So how valuable was this experience for you on the side of things that you've got to learn from a loss, but you really haven't suffered from it in a way?
Man, I thought I was almost like to say like untouchable for a second, and to have that loss and not have it stuck on my record, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I'm always intense, and I'm self-motivating when I go to the gym. I work hard, but I didn't think my flames could get any higher. Like for this fight that I'm getting ready for, I'm super pumped. I'm super motivated, and I think it just made me even more intense. But in a calm way, I'm relaxed. I'm just going to go in there and do what I do, and that's win. And it just opened up my eyes and let me see, this is the fight game. Anything can happen. You got to be prepared at all times. And win or lose, no excuses. Just get ready for the next one. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm glad that it didn't stick on my record. But still in my mind, it was a loss. And I hate that feeling. I don't like losing anything, not even tic-tac-toe. So I'm going to work super hard just to try to never let that happen again and feel that defeat and overcome it all.
Going into that season, a lot of people didn't really know what to expect because this was the first time that men and women were going to be living in the house together. What were your expectations going into the house? What did you think was going to happen? Because a lot of people were speculating that, maybe this is going to be the real world with fighting and there were going to be all these hookups and all this nonsense that went on in the house. So, what were you expecting going into the show?
I tell you, I didn't know what to expect. But I figured out, everybody's there to fight. Everybody's trying to get that 6-figure contract. Nobody's really trying to hook up.
Right.
And we have some goofballs like Anthony, and he kept it funny for us all, and I enjoyed that. But everybody was pretty professional, and everybody had the same goal to train hard and not try to make this a love kind of show, love connection, but to make this a real fight. And the ladies did outstanding, and I have way more respect for women's MMA than I did before I went into the house.
Mm-hmm. This was the 18th season of The Ultimate Fighter, so I'm sure you had seen at least one of the previous 17 seasons of the show, so I'm pretty sure that you had a good idea of what you were getting into. But is there any way of really knowing what that experience is like without actually being there? Like, was it different than what you had thought?
I had 4 teammates actually going there, and Tony Ferguson actually won it, so I had a lot of information about what it was going to be like, but yeah, until you experience it, you really don't understand, because you're away from everybody and everything, but you have any and everything that you want. If you want to be a knucklehead and just drink, you have all the alcohol you want right there. If you want to really be serious and dedicate yourself to your craft, you have all the help and opportunity to do that, even if you win your fight or lose your fight. Because I lost my fight and I still got to work and got some great work in. And it is just what you make of it, and I try to make the best of it. That's just what I kept telling myself. This is a short time, so make the best of it. And I made some really good connections. I get to still train with Rhonda. She's in California. I'm in California. It's only like a 45-minute drive for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was pretty good. But, yeah, until you experience it, you can hear different things. But once you experience it, you understand what it's like to be in there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Now, on the season, there were 2 guys that didn't make weight for the show. Cody Bollinger and Anthony Gutierrez both failed to make weight 2 different times. Gutierrez and him were supposed to fight, and then Cody Bollinger didn't make weight, and then Gutierrez was supposed to fight later in the show and didn't make weight. So there were 2 separate occasions that 2 guys missed weight, and they were on different teams, of course. Rhonda, she blamed Misha for allowing, or whatever you want to say, about how Cody Bollinger didn't make weight, and then she blamed herself for why Anthony Gutierrez didn't make weight. How much really does the coach play a factor in guys not making weight? Because it seems like it's pretty much 100% on the guy who's not making weight, not the coach. Who's to blame here?
The guys are definitely to blame. We're professionals. We go in there. We know what weight we need to make, and if they would have gave me extra 2 hours, I would have made the weight to fight Anthony Gutierrez. We're professionals. This is their fault. Like I said, we have everything we want in the house. We can eat whatever we want, and they choose to eat whatever they wanted to. And they thought that the weight cut was going to be easy, and it was a little bit tougher for them than they expected, and that was the end outcome for them. And they're not even the biggest guys in the house. Like Davey was a pretty big guy. Mike Wooten was pretty big, and they both made the weight nice and easy. It's just how dedicated you are. And now that out the house, I think just being in that environment kind of had them a little spooked, and they could eat whatever they wanted, so they were just going to town. But Cody made weight for the World Series of Fighting, and then Anthony just made, I believe he made 35s for the take RFA or Legacy or something like that, so they could make the weight. I just know they just had a brain freeze at that moment, and it kind of sucked for them because it was a big opportunity. Both of them were pretty good, so I feel for the guys. But like I said, it's a learning experience, so I hope they learn from it and hope they don't let it happen again.
Mm-hmm. Now, how pissed off were you when they were going to give you the opportunity to get a second chance in the competition? When Cody Bollinger failed to make weight, it was supposed to be you versus Anthony Gutierrez for a spot in the semifinals, but he decided to take the bye or whatever. When Cody couldn't fight, Anthony said, "You know what? I don't want to make weight twice again. If I want to go far in this competition, the smart thing to do would just take the bye and go into the next round." How pissed did that make you when you were robbed of a second opportunity, and then the guy who I guess you could say robbed you of that opportunity really didn't do anything with his opportunity to move forward in the competition? How mad were you about that? I
won't say mad. I understand that he didn't make weight twice, and it wasn't his fault. He made the weight the first time, and the second time I really kind of just felt bad for him because
right.
You just seen what happened when Cody didn't make weight, and then you just make weight. Like, even when Dana was right, he didn't even have the words to tell him just get out. And I felt bad for him to let an opportunity like that just slip out of his hands. Never know how far he could have went in the tournament. But actually being mad, it was out of my hands. I was more mad at myself for losing my match than I can be mad at anybody else. It's nobody else's fault but myself for getting eliminated. Other than that, I was cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, Davey, he got a pass to the finals because Anthony Gutierrez didn't make weight. Just curious, why didn't they give you an opportunity to take that fight against Davey? Was there just not enough time left? Like, how many days were left in the show of filming it, and why couldn't you step in again, to try to get another chance?
I think it was the athletic commission that wouldn't let it happen. Davey was disappointed. Davey was really upset about getting the pass. He didn't want it like that. He wanted to fight his way to the finals. Like, he was really upset. We had to calm him down, just relax. But I respect David. I know he wanted to fight, but he deserved to take the pass too. If he gave the pass to one guy, why not take the pass himself? So, it was cool. So they didn't even give the opportunity to even have another person make weight to even try to fight.
Okay, I see. Now, you mentioned that you still stay in contact with Ronda Rousey. You train with her. You take that 45-minute drive down there to train with her. Besides her, who else do you stay in contact with? Because we hear, about these group text messages and all these things that Ronda's always talking to the team.
Every Friday, yeah, we got a group text message every Friday. Stay in contact with the coaches. Talk to Queen of Spades still.
Yeah, right.
Talk to Ronda's roommate all the time. Actually went to watch her last fight.
Right.
And I get on the social media with Mike Wooten and Davey Grant every once in a while. I even talk to Holdsworth because he's up in Northern Cali. Talk to him. Talk to mostly everybody still. We were all pretty cool and professional with one another, so I like everybody. But for the most part, yeah, I talk to Ronda a whole lot, and I talk to Jessamine and Shayna a lot too. Mm-hmm.
So mostly you're in contact with the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah.
Right. Just curious, have you ever been over there to their house?
Oh yeah. I'm one of the few that's allowed.
Right. Now, on that season, Ronda gave everyone a gold key with fight on it. It's I don't really know what it exactly stands for, but I see her wearing it all the time. What exactly is that key?
Where's my keys around here someplace? Yeah, I still have mine. It was like a custom key that she had made. And it had like a little note inside. And it was basically like for people that had hard times and stuff like this. And if you meet somebody that has a hard time, you pass it on. You give your key away to them, and they get to wear it. And if they meet somebody that has a hard time and they're trying to get over an obstacle, then they give the key that you gave away. And then it's a website that you could go to, and you could write your story up on there. So it was really cool that she gave us those. Yeah, I still have mine. So everybody on our team has theirs. So. Pretty cool. I'm still waiting for that one person I got to find to give it to.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Now, this season that you were on for The Ultimate Fighter, I believe the only two men on the season that fought at the finale were the two in the finals. There were a couple women who fought that weren't in the final for the women's side of things, but I believe for the men, it was only Davey and Chris Holdsworth that were able to fight at the finale. Just curious, were you surprised that you didn't get an opportunity to fight at the finale?
Yeah, I was a little bummed. I was hoping to get a second chance just to show, how good I am when I'm not even 100%, but when nothing is broken on my body. I thought with my first fight to get in the house, that may have got me a little leeway to get back in there. But it is what it is. They just told me just to keep working hard, and hopefully I get another shot. So I'm gonna try to knock this fight out and win a couple more, and hopefully by the end of the year or the end of summer, I can get a call from them and get back in there, because I still think I'm one of the hottest prospects out there. I think I'm the best 35er that's not in the UFC. And I want a chance to prove it on a level playing field.
Now, going forward, on March 28th, you're going to be fighting Keith Carson at BAMMA USA Bad Beat 12. Just curious, how's training been going for the fight?
Training's been going great. They switched the opponent on me, switched the weights, but I'm professional. This is what we do. I'm feeling really good. I've been doing a lot of stand-up, and I just can't wait to get in there and show my skills and show that, UFC made a mistake by not putting me on there, and show everybody that I'm pissed off, and I'm just as hot as I ever was. And I got a statement to make. I'm not looking past them, but I'm going to go through them. I'm definitely going to go through them, and I'm definitely going to make a statement that, this is still my time, and even though I didn't win the Ultimate Fighter, I'm still one of the best 135-pounders out there, and it's the reason why I'm still undefeated.
Just curious, how much do you know about your opponent?
I don't know too much. I know he's more of a stand-up than a submission guy. I think he has a little bit of wrestling background, but, once we get in that cage, we're going to see what's really going on. My game plan is just to go win. I want to stop him before 15 minutes is done, but the ultimate goal is to win. I don't really care what he's coming to do. He's not as fast as me. He's not as strong as me. He hasn't fought the people I fought. He can't beat me. And if he's looking at old videos, or I don't care what video he's looking at, he doesn't know the fighter that's inside my heart right now to get in there and just take him out. And afterwards, we could drink a beer, we could chat it up or whatnot. I have no ill will towards him, but he's in my way of my goal, and I'm gonna have to put him down.
Chris, word on the street is that you signed with the World Series of Fighting. Is this true?
I was kind of signed to them before I did the Ultimate Fighter show, but I had a clause if they didn't fight me within 5 months or whatever, I could get out of it, and I opted to get out to go to the Ultimate Fighter show. I mean, they were just basically sitting me on the shelf, and can't sit on the shelf. I'm young, I'm hungry, I'm trying to fight.
The reason I ask is because there's been some speculation on why you're not the main event on this card and why you're not fighting either Eric Winston or Terrion Ware. It seems to me it would make sense that you would be in that fight because you're 7-0 overall and you're 5-0 under the BAMMA USA banner, so I think it would make sense that you would be fighting for the first ever Bantamweight title. Just curious, why didn't they give you that fight?
Man, I can't even speak on it. I don't even know. I honestly don't know, but everybody who follows BAMMA, they know that that's my house. Only reason they're going to have that belt is because of what I've done. I have mad respect for Winston. I have mad respect for the Flash. I like them both. But whoever wins that belt, hopefully I win my belt. And I'm coming after them. I'm coming to get my belt just so I can put it up on my coffee table. It doesn't matter to me who either one or two of those guys. I mean, but first things first, I got to take care of my business at hand. But as soon as that's done, definitely I'm coming to get my belt. And they could say they were the first BAMMA USA Bantamweight champion, but we all really know who's the real champion around there, who's the real kingpin. I'm 5-0 in that case. Not another Bantamweight is 5-0. I'm about to be 6-0. Nobody's fought as many times as I fought in that case at 135 pounds. I don't know why they didn't give me the fight for the title, but it doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, the only belt that I really, really care for and I really, really want has UFC on it. So, I respect BAMMA. I love BAMMA to death, and I thank them for putting me on the card and showing me all the love that they did. But when it's said and done, you know, when I'm done with my MMA career, it won't be the BAMMA champion, 135 champion that everybody's going to be talking about. Hopefully one day it's going to be, oh yeah, the real deal was a UFC Bantamweight champion. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it in your personality to, you know, get a win on March 28th and when the fight's over, call for a title shot? You know, are you the kind of guy who would do that?
Usually, no, I'm not the kind of guy that do that, but I call out people. But I mean, I put a lot of work in at that BAMMA cage, and then if people for new people that just watch it and see these guys come and think they're the best, and just because they gave them a belt, I just want everybody to know, no, that's my house. I built that boy up. And I'm the real champion. I'll fight whoever, but you know, whoever wins that belt might be getting the call to go to the big show. So that would be my only reason to try to call them out before they take them up to the big show, because I'm trying to go to the big show. And if they have that belt, they might be able to get there. So that's the only one goal or one reason why I'll be looking to get that belt. But like I said, I have mad respect for both of the fighters. I like them both. I think they're worthy of the fight. Don't get me wrong. They've been putting in their own work in the BAMMA cage. This is going to be, I think, Winston's first time to headline, and I think it's going to be the Flash's second time headline. So they're both putting a lot of work in. They deserve the chance to get that belt, because if things would have went well in the UFC, I wouldn't be fighting for the BAMMA right now. So I understand that point of it, but now that I am playing for BAMMA, that is my house. I am the kingpin, and I'm the best 135 pounder step in that cage, and that's point blank period. And if they don't like it, let's get in there and handle it.
Now, one of the main criticisms I see about you is that you have a lot of decisions on your record. 7 wins that you have in your MMA career, pro career, 6 of those 7 wins have been by decision, and even the fight to get into the house on The Ultimate Fighter that you won, that was by decision. How much do you think that hurts you, you know, in the eyes of some promoters and fans and all that, you know, with all these decisions on your record, and what can you do to change that, you know, because you know, the old saying goes is when you're hunting for a finish, you usually never get one. It just kind of has to happen, you know. How can you change it, and how much does that hurt you, not having those finishes?
I think it hurts if you just look at the paper, if you just go online and look me up. But if you ever came to one of my fights and sat and watched, or even Googled me online, you're like, damn, yeah, he wins decisions, but these are all action-packed fights. He's going hard. Like, my fights aren't boring. You get your money's worth when I do fight. I can't explain like why I haven't stopped as many people as I said, because when I was an amateur, I was stopping everybody, and I was fighting 155, 145. I even had a thought at like 160 catch weight. And I don't know. I think maybe I'm just a little more cautious because this is permanent on my record or whatnot. But come March 28th, you don't have to worry about that. I'm going in guns blazing. And I think I'm not looking for a stoppage, but I think a stoppage is going to happen because my hands are really nice, and I'm going after it, and I'm going to get it.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're training out of Knuckleheads Boxing. Is that the only gym you train at? Or, I mean, I know you said that you've done some training with Rhonda, but besides that, you know, what other spots do you hit to get some training in?
I haven't hit in a little while, Rain, but sometimes I go out to Rain and go train out there with those guys. They have Gracie Morambi out of Ventura that I visit sometimes. But for the most part, people want to see knockouts, so I'm trying to get my hands right. And Knuckleheads Boxing is the spot for me right now. And that's my main gym. That's my family is in there. And I love that gym. I get along with everybody well. It's a brotherhood and sisterhood there. And when I get a chance, I go out to Ronda's, and I go out to Rain, and I go to other gyms. And I even been out to PKG to get some work in. But it just so happens Knuckleheads right now is the spot that I'm at. And if we have a ground opponent, then we get more work in at Gracie Morambi. But other than that, I love my Knuckleheads gym, and I don't ever plan on leaving it.
Who's going to be cornering you for this fight?
My head coach, Haas. He's cornered me since I became a pro, or even before I was a pro. He's always been in my corner. I haven't lost one above my side, so he's going to be there to corner me for this fight. And if my boy Joe Henley gets done with his fight in time, he'll probably be over there watching and cornering as well. But, yeah, that's probably it.
Now, I'm not from the state of California, so I don't know the area really at all. This fight's going to be taking place in Commerce, California. How close is that to where you live?
All right, on the map, it's not too far, but since the traffic sucks, it takes, in the fight's on a Friday, I got to go out there Thursday to weigh in, but it should only take about an hour and 15 minutes to get out there, but it'll probably take closer to 2.5 to 3 hours to get out there because the traffic sucks out here.
Oh, I see. Now, what kind of crowd should we be expecting for you? Obviously, you've said it, and I believe what you're saying. I think you are, the top guy. What kind of crowd are you expecting? Obviously, I bet you're hoping that the entire crowd is cheering for you, but how many people have you personally invited, and how many tickets have you sold for the event?
They gave me a lot of tickets. I think I got a buddy that's getting a 40-person party bus, so I think that's probably going to be packed. And then I sold some online, so I'm thinking at least 50, 60 people for me personally. But once I'm in there, I'm tunnel vision. I'm just focusing on my opponent. Only person I need there is my mom and my coach. All I care. And my little one's going to be there to cheer me on. But I think probably anywhere from 40 to 60 people.
Mm-hmm. Two more questions before I let you go, Chris. The first one is, now that you're back on the regional circuit and you had that taste of the UFC, you fought on The Ultimate Fighter, you were so close to getting into the UFC, would you say that you're more hungry and more motivated now to get back there because you've had that little taste of what the big show is? Would you say you're more hungry now to make it back there than you were trying to get there originally?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm super hungry to get back there, and just to get this taste out of my mouth of defeat, man. Like I said, I really hate losing, so I've been working super hard, and I think this loss is just gonna make me a meaner, better fighter. I'm excited to show my new skill set and show what I can do. I know I can be great. Right now, I think I'm good, but I know I can be great, and I think that loss is going to make me step it up, and I think the hunger to get back there is going to make me step it up, and I'm excited. I'm really excited right now.
Mm-hmm. Just curious, what do you think you have to do to get back there? Is it start getting some finishes, maybe rack up 2 or 3 finishes and then make the jump, or is it just basically keep that undefeated record intact, get some W's, and then maybe get a call there? What do you think you have to do to get there? It's hard to say, but what do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think a little bit of both. I think we definitely need to stay undefeated and get some finishes under our belts. So that's definitely what we're going to. That's the right there. Is keep the O first and then work on finish the second. And put on excellent fights. I'm gonna let my fighting speak for me. I'm not gonna get out there and just keep begging, but every fight that I have, every chance I get to prove that I deserve to be in there, I'm gonna take full advantage of it. I'm gonna do everything I can to stop them. I'm gonna do everything I can to win. I'm gonna do everything I can to put on a show, prove that I'm a fighter for the UFC. Like, even my fights again in the house, even Dana White was like, damn, he's beating the shit out of him off the bottom. Like, this kid is a beast, and for me just to go out like that and after my second fight, that kind of sucked. And I'm just ready to get that, to throw that behind me and work on my way back and get on the new path.
Chris, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
I like to thank Global Tracking, Tri-Costa, give a shout out to my manager, Bryce, Royal Sports, and Team Knuckleheads, and my whole city of Ventura. I love you guys, and you guys always support me, and to anybody's watching, I'm going to come and try to be a beast. Beast mode time.
Chris, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck at BAMMA USA Bad Beat 12 on March 28th.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the time to talk.